Collectively, they generate approximately $1.5 billion a year. Therefore, we must respect and preserve what we have. These resources belong to us.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
So let's all do our part to maintain our local economy and a good quality of life. Remember, if we take care of nature, nature will take care of us.
Well, we promised you an exciting journey, and I sure hope you had one, from a true festival to a double Dutch collaboration, even to the world of acting. Well, that will do it for us this week here on A&E Showcase. We hope you'll tune in next time. For now, I'm Jimenita.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, the Ministry of Finance beginning its budget education campaign with a press conference this afternoon in an effort to provide the public with full transparency and an understanding of the annual budget. As Jashina Rowe-Farquharson reports, a breakdown of the budget, the country's financial deficit, and the way forward was provided, along with concessions that are expected to accelerate the pace of the country's economic recovery.
Minister of State for Finance, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, and Acting Financial Secretary Marlon Johnson breaking down the 2021-2022 budget during a press conference this afternoon. Thompson making it clear that the government acknowledges the country's substantial deficit, while pointing out that this was in part due to the twin crises, the pandemic and Hurricane Dorian.
Commentators have pointed out that the current fiscal year and the one to come have elevated borrowing by some $2 billion. As the Prime Minister said yesterday, in this administration, we do not gloss over this fact. The $1.3 billion projected deficit in this current fiscal year and the $951 million deficit projected for the 2021-2022 fiscal year, it really reflects the extreme economic crisis caused by Dorian and the pandemic, and our response to these crises. This is what has caused us to postpone, only temporarily, but to postpone the path to fiscal consolidation and balanced budgets.
As a result of the country's crisis, Johnson noting that the reality is the fiscal deficit remains also due to the fact that there is still a demand for government support, the high unemployment numbers, and increased pressure in the healthcare system. But he says that the Bahamas is not the only country facing a high deficit.
In the Bahamas and many other countries, same is true in the European Union, same is true around the world. Because you have an extraordinary crisis, it has required our government and other governments to have to run up a significant deficit in order to be able to meet the social services requirements and keep the economy going through a severe crisis.
But they say that the government has a plan laid out in the 2021-2022 budget that is the roadmap to financial recovery, which includes job creation through an employment incentive program, small business tax concessions and relief programs, new tax-free zones for 11 southern islands, $100 million investment in the healthcare system, improving the framework for investment, and accelerating the pace of digital transformation. But what is also important is the assistance for those who remain unemployed during this time.
Because as persons, come September, those persons still are still unemployed. The plan is to transition them off to a social services program. And so the social services would have got a bump up of around $20 million specifically. So that will allow persons who leave that unemployment program after September the social services who will still require some support to enter into that program.
And while recovery, they say, is possible, the economy's rebound is also contingent on international and national vaccinations.
We've seen already in the United States, we see in Britain and elsewhere, that as more persons become vaccinated, those economies are able to open back up more, persons are more prepared to travel. The extent to which we are vaccinated in the Bahamas, that will also shape how quickly we can open up fully and what we are able to do as far as getting back into full entertainment and to the activities that also make us a destination of choice.
Shashina Wolf-Farquharson, ZNS Network News.
The 2021-2022 budget also includes a major investment in healthcare. The Minister of Finance, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, outlining the improvements set to come on stream in the healthcare system. While presenting the 2021-2022 fiscal budget, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, noting this administration's significant investments in healthcare developments and upgrades. He says that as it relates to the current pandemic, the government has allocated $10 million in the upcoming budget to continue the fight for the health and safety of Bahamians, the fight to return to a sense of normalcy and an end to the pandemic. He adds that the government is moving swiftly to invest over $100 million in hospital upgrades, with an estimated expenditure of over $70 million targeted for the Princess Margaret Hospital.
And more than $19 million budgeted for the commencement of the new 4-story tower expansion at the Rand Memorial Hospital in Freeport, Grand Bahama. Both facilities, which are the bedrock of our public health care system on our 2 most populated islands, will be upgraded with new modern, now listen, I said both facilities, Rand and Princess Margaret, will be upgraded with new modern multi-story towers that will house the most cutting-edge equipment, expand their footprint, provide additional bed space, and enhance day-to-day operations.
Now, the Prime Minister adds that the government will have the cash at the central bank in full and in hand in trust for the Public Hospital Authority. He adds that this will allow the project to happen at an accelerated pace over the next 18 to 24 months, with funding fully secured.
This means that we have the cash. We have the cash at the central bank in full and in hand, in trust for the Public Hospital Authority, Rand Memorial and Princess Margaret Hospital. What you will see in the budget is a $19 million allocation for the new tower at the Rand Memorial Hospital to cover the initial phases of what will ultimately be a $39 million project. The 4-story expansion to the newly opened and renovated Rand Memorial Hospital will ensure that Grand Bahamians will also have the benefit of a world-class modern hospital facility. And this multi-story facility will ensure that should Grand Bahama be impacted by another severe storm, patients can continue to receive the best of care in a new climate resilient facility constructed vertically to withstand flooding.
Further, the Prime Minister adds that the government will invest over $100 million over the next 18 months in a massive upgrade of core medical facilities that, when complete, will have the equipment, technology, and facilities that will rival any medical center in the region and in the world. The sum of $1 million in capital funding will be allocated to the Department of Transformation and Digitization to implement an innovative telemedicine initiative.
No longer will people living in Long Island, Inagua, Mangrove Key, or any other settlement have to fly to New Providence or Grand Bahama to incur large travel costs to access health care comparable to what can be found in the capital. This House, Mr. Speaker, will be updated on this initiative as digital transformation, IT, and health professionals advance this initiative together. Mr. Speaker, in terms of health equity, this administration does not believe that socioeconomic class or income should be a barrier to accessing quality health care services. Do you agree with that, Frank? Without the ability to access quality health care, we risk allowing the deepening of health disparities and increasing our vulnerability should another global pandemic emerge.
The Parliamentary Registration Department beefing up its voter registration drive with enumeration exercise in East Grand Bahama this weekend. Officials say they're still not pleased with the amount of new voters registered for Grand Bahama for the 2022 general elections. Rumiko Knowles has more.
There are 689 newly registered voters recorded to date, and according to Assistant Parliamentary Commissioner and Officer in charge of the Parliamentary Registration Office in Grand Bahama, Denise Pinder, the majority of that number are young persons between the ages of 18 through 39.
Voter registration is still going slowly. As I would have said in previous interviews, one of my major concerns with Grand Bahama is that those persons who need to transfer, many of them are still not coming in. And if you have been away from your address for more than a year, you really should come in and effect a transfer to your new address if there's no intention to go back to an old location.
But as the general election approaches, she's most certain that number will increase.
Oh, definitely. I am certain, even though we're not re-registering the entire eligible population of voters, I still expect that those persons in particular who need transfers, they'll be bombarding the various centers so that they could have that affected. Maybe some young persons who are just waiting back. I'm sure, with all the excitement in the air, they'll come forward too, and they'll get registered.
Now, while it is expected, it is something they are hoping to prevent.
Because in the midst of getting close to an election and you have all these persons coming in to be registered, we're also preparing for the election itself. So it makes preparing for the election itself just a bit more difficult because we're trying to focus our manpower between two different exercises.
According to Pinder, Grand Bahama is one of 6 areas in the country with constituencies consisting over 6,000.
Central Grand Bahama has 6,649. East Grand Bahama has 6,350. And Marco City has 6,185. Okay. So there's still some talk of maybe, boundaries need to change on Grand Bahama, but thus far there's been nothing concrete as to whether or not that'll happen. Basically, East and Marco City are areas that were heavily affected by Dorian. So there's a possibility there may still be some persons who, particularly in the East, who are affected by the storm and who really need to come in and transfer.
Now, speaking of East Grand Bahama, a enumeration exercise will commence on Saturday, the 29th of May. Pinder says they will start with Sweetings Key.
Enumeration exercise is to verify and ensure the correctness of the current register. Some persons had concerns that during the last election, the 2017 election, that, maybe there were some errors here. This time around with this exercise, we're trying to make sure we capture any problems on the register so that we can clean it up and so that it can be as accurate as possible.
Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
The Department of Statistics is preparing for the 2021 Census of Population and Housing. The process, which should have begun last year, suffered a setback. This morning, several listers who will play a vital role in the exercise were sworn in at the Administrator's office in Freeport. Our Italia Hall was there.
For the first time in history, the country is conducting a national census of population and housing electronically. To carry out the required listing exercise, the Department of Statistics in Grand Bahama has contracted an additional 15 listers to join the department's Geographic Information System team. Assistant Director for the Department of Statistics for the Northern Bahamas, Clara Lowe, says as of September 6th, you will be able to go online, register, and take part in the questionnaire.
The persons will be able to sit in their homes with a secure code, key it in, and log on and fill out the questionnaire, the census questionnaire, in the privacy of their home at their leisure. There will be no visitations in-house if persons want to take this option. It's called CAWI, Computer Assisted Web Interview. We have been kind of thrust into the 22nd century by the COVID.
Lowe explaining more details as to what the listers will be responsible for.
Persons will list every building, every household on Grand Bahama and throughout the entire Bahamas. This will be carried out. And they'll ask the contact information of the key householder, so that individual will get the, what we call a secure code. And this will be your code. We are asking you to keep it secret. It's like a bank code, so that your information, when it goes in, only you can access it or persons from the Department of Statistics.
Now, the census is conducted every 10 years, but due to Hurricane Dorian and the COVID-19 pandemic, it was delayed.
We could not go out and do the exercise. We've been sitting on the information that we had already put together to do the census, and we had to revamp that to accommodate this mode. We're also going to have a second mode called CATI, Computer Assisted Telephone Interview. If you do not have access to the web, you can call us. And what that will do is we'll have an operator who will help you fill out the questionnaire.
Now, in compliance with the Statistics Act of 1973, each listing officer must be sworn in before going in the field. Kathy Smith, administrator for the City of Freeport District, conducted the swearing-in ceremony.
The function of the administrator's office, we are here to assist government agencies and departments in whichever way possible. And today we are assisting the Department of Statistics with the swearing-in ceremony of 15 of listers and supervisors who will be conducting the census beginning tomorrow.
Now, Lowe sharing the importance of the census exercise. She says it's all about providing agencies, non-governmental organizations, and others with accurate information.
All of our persons who have to make policy decisions, and the problem is, if it's not up to date, it's not that relevant. And so we need the census. We only do it every 10 years. And so, especially in Grand Bahama, there was a displacement of persons because of Dorian. So we can't use our statistical means to extrapolate the data and tell you how many persons or how many people are living in each area.
It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. There's still more news to come right after this break.
Come on down. Come on down. Now.
You all thinking about catching a trip? Get all fresh up and catch the sailing with Valeria Caribbean. Passenger prices start at only $120 per way. And you'll love the onboard amenities while you relax and enjoy the view. Plus, the ferry is secured with all the latest COVID-19 protocols. Once you're done shopping, You're back home in no time with no hassle getting your packages. Bins start at $150, and the best thing is when you travel with your cargo, you eliminate the manifesting fees. It's easy, fast, and affordable. Book your trip now at www.valeriacaribbean.com.
Did you know that you can get the benefits of timeshare without the burdens of owning one? Finally, you can stay at over 4,000 top timeshare resorts across the globe for as little as $2.99 per week. Seabreeze Vacation Villas and Country Club, located at number 2 Port of Call Drive right here in Freeport, is pleased to introduce benefits without burdens. Visit seabreezevacationvillas.com to register for a complimentary breakfast or lunch preview, or call 602-5617 to find out more today.
Third Dimension on Yellow Pine Street introduces its new home improvement center. Step into our brand new, fully stocked showroom for the latest in doors, tiles, housewares, kitchenwares, bathwares, vanities, power tools, electrical, and plumbing supplies. So stop by our showroom to view our full range of products or call the Home Advisor hotline at 602-0935 today. We are your home advisors.
My name is Sheila Ferguson. The store here is White's Clothing, etc. And we've been here serving Freeport, Grand Bahama since 1987. We have the epitome of ladies' fashion, high quality for all occasions. We've got costume jewelry and beautiful evening dresses. We have earrings, we have bracelets. We've got little evening bags, carry fascinators, scarves. We have the most elegant selection of ladies' hats on this island in all colors, all sizes and variety. The location is the Mayport Plaza, downtown Freeport. The store hours are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The phone number here is 375-7566.
Take your time, take your time. You sure, right there?
Money short.
You sure? All right.
Money short.
Okay, okay.
Miss. You know Lou's a buying, right?
Oh, well, you must be getting kids belay. Man, I ain't bring no money like that. Just you know you greedy.
Well, today is your lucky day.
Oh.
Check out the ZNS Shopping Network. See what deals they have on food.
Look here. My Madcap got some super deals. Check it out. You got a $25 coupon for 15 and a $20 coupon for 10.
Well, Madcap it is.
All right. Hey, I roll in with you, eh?
Log on to ZNSShoppingNetwork.com and get your deals today.
Mayday, Mayday, get 50% off for HA and Burleone long sleeve shirts now at Esquire's men's store in the Lacayan Shopping Plaza. Esquire's, for the best in menswear. Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Turning to news from the crime beat now, police say a Haitian male and a female of Dundastown, Abaco have been taken into custody in connection to a video circulating on social media involving a traffic accident that occurred in Abaco this past Tuesday. In the video, a woman and child were struck by a vehicle catapulting them into the air, and the driver failed to stop at the scene of the accident. The video is too graphic for us to show. Now, at last report, the child was detained at the Marsh Harbor Clinic, while the adult female was flown to New Providence for further medical attention. Both are listed in serious but stable condition. Police are thanking members of the public for their assistance in locating the driver and passenger in the vehicle allegedly involved in that hit-and-run accident in Abaco on Tuesday. And this just in, the Grand Bahama Power Company issuing a statement announcing that the company has begun the process of testing and commissioning of Unit 33 at its Peel Street location. The unit, which has not operated since the passing of Hurricane Dorian, will undergo a series of tests to confirm its ability to safely operate on the power grid. Power officials say that as a result, customers may experience a series of outages over the next few days. They say any outages as a result of the testing and commissioning of Unit 33 will be short, that's 30 minutes or less, and an update will be given via Grand Bahama Power's social media pages. And still with us, Facebook Friend of the Day is still to come.
Daddy, Please Don't Go. Written by Reverend Dr. Elvis Burrows. Book launch on Sunday, June 13th at Freeport Bible Church. Get your tickets today. Phone 351-8311.
Island Bedding is the Bahamas' leading manufacturer in mattress sets. But did you know we also carry top quality products like pillows, comforters, sheets, and much more. Our furniture line is also expanding to meet the needs of those rebuilding. We have bedroom sets, sofa beds, recliners, accent pieces, and so much more. Come and experience Island Bedding today, where everybody deserves their own island.
Don't let COVID-19 stand in the way of your education. The Bahamas Institute of Business and Technology has convenient online courses, which you can complete anywhere, anytime.
Completing my degree was affordable and convenient with BIBT's leading-edge online classes. And now I have a great job and advancing in my career.
BIBT, respected, affordable, recognized, and approved. Delivering quality education across the entire Bahamas. Visit BIBTBahamas.com for more information.
Yes, sir. What you saying, bro?
Man, everything cool. Right here waking dead hot. What you doing for lunch?
You catching me here checking out this ZNS Shopping Network site? I looking at this out to sea deal.
Yeah? How do one go?
For $30, you get a $50 coupon. 20% off fish at the stand, plus you get $10 in minutes.
Man, you can't beat that.
Well, out to sea it is. Log on to www.znsshoppingnetwork.com. Select the island of your choice and shop anywhere, anytime.
Hey there, welcome to Health Bites, where each and every week we give you a helpful tip to help you on your health and fitness journey. This week we're going to talk about heart health. The heart is arguably one of the most important organs in the body. We live in a country where heart disease is very high, so keeping your heart healthy is very important. So I'm going to give you some of the best supplements to help keep your heart healthy and strong. First supplement I'm going to recommend is omega-3s, or cod liver oil and other fish oils. These help to lower your body's triglycerides, which help to reduce your risk of stroke and other heart disease. If your diet is high in fish, you may not need to supplement as much, so eating lots of fish, salmon, snapper, grouper also helps to keep your omega-3 and fish oil content high and keep your heart healthy and strong. Another way to keep your heart healthy is to increase your fiber intake. Now, fiber will help to lower your cholesterol levels. Eating leafy greens, broccoli, flax seeds, chia seeds, these stuff help to give your body extra fiber and keep your cholesterol levels down, keep your heart healthy. If you can't get enough of those foods, you can also use supplement with a fiber powder or other fiber supplement. The next supplement is magnesium. Believe it or not, about 70% of the population is deficient in magnesium, meaning that they don't get enough. And magnesium is very important because it helps lower the amount of plaque in your arteries. Studies have also shown that low magnesium has been linked to risk of high blood pressure. So taking magnesium can help reduce your risk of developing high blood pressure, or may even reduce your blood pressure when combined with a healthy change of diet. Last but not least, we have L-carnitine. L-carnitine is responsible for transporting fat to be used as energy, so it helps keep your heart functioning strong. It has also been used for people who have heart attacks or heart issues to help strengthen their heart afterwards. So taking it before can help reduce your risk of developing heart issues. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you need any of these heart supplements, you can find them here at the Fitness Connection. Come in and check us out.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture congratulates all the participants of its Job Ready program. Re-engineered or re-emergence. Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Williams, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We thank you so much for your support. And that's going to do it for us here in the North, but be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Megan Shepard. Have a wonderful evening.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, financial gurus stress the need for the Bahamas to grow its way out of the economic crisis. A lull ends in 3 COVID deaths. The Ministry of National Security inks 2 contracts. And a nation builders memorialized. Those stories and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, continues.
ZNS Shopping Network is the place for deals. Bahamas, get ready for our national launch coming June 1st, 2021. For the first time ever, any store can advertise their sale items or discounted coupons on ZNS. And you get TV and radio commercials at never-before-seen prices. So if you got stuff and you want to put it on sale, we will tell the entire Bahamas about it. So merchants, log on to ZNSShoppingNetwork.com and click the Merchant Inquiry button and get started.
This portion of the news brought to you by BTC's Dollar Holla Deals.
Good evening, I'm Makush Lopindo. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for joining us. Local financial experts today fielding questions relating to the government's new fiscal plan in the aftermath of it being delivered in Parliament yesterday. It's a tradition, one that this year comes at a time when the Bahamas, like other global economies, is still wrestling with rebounding amid a pandemic.
The end of the pandemic is in our view, but the full economic recovery to pre-crisis levels is really still in the distance.
No surprise there when you consider that the country's revenue woes have led to what State Minister of Finance, the Honourable Kwesi Thompson himself accepts, is an extreme economic crisis, where the deficit's pegged at $951 million in the upcoming fiscal year. It's a figure that, of course, leaves us again to borrow. Shedding some light on that is Acting Financial Secretary Marlon Johnson.
It's that these are temporary and transitory. These are not structural. Where countries run into trouble is when they have structural deficits, meaning that even at the economy at full tilt, and you're still running big deficits. The deficits are occasioned because we had a substantial shutdown of the economy. And as we are seeing already, as the economies have opened up, our revenues are returning. And that means that these are not structural. So we will reflect a little bit. Yes, it is reason for caution and concern, but it isn't reason for alarm. It would be reason for alarm if these were structural and long-term. So going into the next year and the year after that, the deficits will come down. And we have a position and a strategy that we believe is sustainable.
Now, as for the government's decision to again postpone reaching its targeted debt to GDP ratio to fiscal year 2030-2031, Minister Thompson cited the International Monetary Fund, which finds such a move appropriate.
Directors agreed that the near-term priority is to save lives and livelihoods. and postponing the achievement of the public debt target by another 2 years in response to the pandemic is appropriate. However, putting debt on a clear downward path over the medium term and rebuilding buffers will require significant fiscal effort, end quote. This is precisely the balance we have struck in the fiscal strategy and continued in this budget.
Well, persistent unemployment, private sector closures, you name it. The government is, of course, up against challenges, but it's holding firm that taxing one's way out of the present situation is not the way to go. Minister Thompson instead reasons that the Bahamas must grow its way out. But how does the government propose to do this?
We must build on the foundation for greater private sector participation and better government facilitation. At the heart of the Accelerate Bahamas is a plan to invest in economic growth. And we are doing so in targeted ways to generate immediate and long-term returns.
Well, as the Prime Minister outlined in the House of Assembly Wednesday, the upcoming budget will focus on maintaining and supporting families, small businesses and communities and growing the economy. Altavisa Munnings takes a look at the 7 pillars of 2021-2022's Accelerate Bahamas.
Pillar 1, job creation, and the primary pillar of Accelerate Bahamas. With over $44 million through the tax credit, tax deferral payroll support program, 14,000 employees of 126 private businesses paid during the lockdowns, $20 million in public aviation sector operation and payroll support, and $5 million to private schools for budget subventions under its belt, government added even more initiatives to cushion the dent in unemployment due to the pandemic. Take, for instance, government's Employment Incentive Program, where businesses can apply for a value-added tax credit to cover the salaries of up to 10 new employees starting July 1st. The allowable tax credit will be up to $400 per week per employee.
We anticipate that up to 250 businesses will take advantage of this opportunity and get up to 2,500 persons back to work. The estimated cost for this investment in job creation will be approximately $40 million in foregone revenue, in line with the amounts related to the previous payroll support program.
Pillar 2, small business development. On the small business development agenda, duty-free concessions will be available to Bahamian small businesses and entrepreneurs to start or expand their business with an annual turnover of less than $5 million. An additional $4 million subvention is allocated for the Bahamas Development Bank and a new special economic recovery order for business and investment generation in the southern Bahamas. Pillar 3, healthcare improvements and vaccinations. To further invest in public health and social welfare systems to protect the nation's health and well-being, $10 million has been allocated to purchase more protective personal equipment, $100 million in hospital upgrades, with an estimated expenditure of over $70 million targeted for the Princess Margaret Hospital, and more than $19 million for a new 4-story tower expansion at the Rand Memorial Hospital in Freeport, an expanded national health insurance scheme, and a $1 million upgrade for telemedicine.
And individuals could have gotten x-rays done in Grand Bahama. And because we recognize shortages of staff throughout the Bahamas, the radiologist in New Providence was on call and interpreted the radiological investigation for Grand Bahama. So Grand Bahama and New Providence was one.
Pillar 4, tourism growth. Government acknowledges our tourism industry is poised to emerge from its forced hibernation and vows to not take on a hands-off approach to its revival. One primary strategy is a more diversified approach to the cruise industry that engages more small ships and premium luxury lines. Government anticipates this summer's start of cruise homeporting will boost visitor spend.
Of tourism. We'll also continue to monitor and identify the emergent trends in traveler interest and demand among key stopover traveler segments, including younger travelers, families, and meeting, incentives, conferences, and events market. We are positioning ourselves to take advantage of the diversification of the tourism product to address the shifting interests and priorities of visitors, including for ecological and cultural experiences and lower density locales, especially smaller properties and family island settings.
Altavi's Munnings, ZNS Network.
The 2021-2022 budget allocating a $4.7 million increase to the Ministry of National Security. Minister responsible, the Honorable Marvin Dames, telling reporters today that a significant investment was pumped into upgrading the Bahamas Department of Corrections, with more still to be done. The focus is also on promotions, for which prison officers have long pushed.
We're very proud of the work that we have done, certainly in the Bahamas Department of Corrections. Are we there yet? No, we're not far. You know, our goal is to see a modern facility that will be able to accommodate rehabilitation, and we're working towards that end. Promotions are set. The promotions have already been set. And as I said before, you know, those promotions, certainly with the Bahamas Department of Corrections, and we have been working as a government to see how we can create a separate commission like the police have that makes their promotion easier. But the Bahamas Department of Correction promotion falls into wider public service.
Senators meeting briefly this morning to table the new budget communication and for first reading of accompanying financial bills. The Senate has adjourned sine die. The governing party openly accusing the opposition of a politically motivated attack following its comments in the wake of Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, delivering the budget communication in the House of Assembly yesterday. The F&M charging in a release this afternoon that as the government works night and day to help struggling Bahamians, the PLP is working tirelessly to talk down the country. The party reasoning that the necessary borrowing will position the country for economic recovery. As far as the F&M sees it, what the Minnis administration presented was a comprehensive plan that lifts up the small business owner, continues to make progress developing a long-neglected infrastructure, and that keeps in place the safety net for those struggling. While having held firm at 226 in recent days, COVID's death toll here in the Bahamas increased overnight by 3. The youngest victim, a 34-year-old woman from New Providence who died just Wednesday. The oldest to have succumbed to the virus, a 100-year-old New Providence woman. A 46-year-old man from Andros also died both on Tuesday. Now, at last count, the number of deaths still under investigation stood at 27. According to turning now to new confirmed cases, that's at 62 with 45 on New Providence. Health officials noting that of the 16 cases listed for Grand Bahama, 15 were confirmed between November 2020 and early May 2021. The final case is out of Cat Island. Of the newly infected, 36 are women. Meantime, hospitalizations sit at 47 with 4 people, that's one more than yesterday, in the intensive care unit. There were 783 active cases on Wednesday. That same day, 407 tests were completed. 8 of them repeats, another 8 inconclusive. Still to come, a financial boost to Marco's alert, and ZNS Radio marks a major milestone. And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour, starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch live at 5 with Amajal Knowles, followed by the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Welcome to a world where hope is still loud, where dreams are still relevant, and determination has no substitute. Welcome to a nation where the people are still warm, resilient, and innovative. And Commonwealth Bank is at the center of it all, giving innovation and progress an extra push for more than 60 years. We're here for Bahamians because we are Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking services.
The $20 combo, unlimited talk, yo, to every network you know. Across the Bahamas, I got 6 gigs of data, plus unlimited chat. It's a scroll over too. Now let me check my people on Facebook and WhatsApp. BTC is where it's at. I rock my combo.
Your BTC 10-day combo is now only $20 and is supersized with a new low price.
BTC, do it again.
You know that feeling you get when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Mario thought he could have his cake and eat it too. He almost found out the hard way that if you don't insure your home for the full replacement value, when it comes time to make a claim, you won't get the full payout. It's called the condition of average. If your $200,000 home is destroyed by a hurricane, but you only insured it for $100,000, half the value, you'll only get half of that $100,000 payout. Actually, less than that, because there's also a deductible which will be deducted from your payout. Check your home insurance policy for the condition of average clause and ask your insurance agent or broker how condition of average would affect you. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, protecting the interest.
The Ministry of Health wishes to advise members of the public that prevention is key during this flu season. Practicing good cough hygiene can make the difference between you and your loved ones getting the flu or spreading the influenza virus. Good cough hygiene habits include covering your mouth and nose with a tissue when coughing or sneezing, and proper disposal of the tissue in a trash bin. Coughing or sneezing into your upper sleeve near your inner elbow and not your hands when a tissue is not available. Avoiding the use of handkerchiefs and towels as they hold germs, becoming a nest for the virus. And frequently washing your hands with soap and water, which is listed as one of the most important steps you can take to avoid getting sick and passing the virus on to others. If you have any questions about how to practice good cough hygiene to avoid catching or spreading the flu, contact your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority. Influenza or the flu can be serious, causing hospitalization and sometimes death. One of the best ways to prevent acquiring the flu is to get your annual flu shot. Flu shots are available free of charge at all community clinics. The following high-risk persons are encouraged to get their annual flu shots: children 6 months and older, pregnant women, adults over the age of 50, persons with asthma, diabetes, hypertension, or a weakened immune system resulting from cancer and/or HIV, persons in nursing homes, and healthcare providers. Additional information regarding the flu shot can be provided by your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
New appointments to the Judiciary. The Judicial and Legal Service Commission has suggested Juanita Denise Lewis Johnson Janine Weish Gomez and Andrew D. Forbes be elevated as Supreme Court justices effective May 31st. Neil Brathwaite on June 14th and Camille Darville Gomez on August 3rd. The appointments coming on the heels of a reduction in the number of Supreme Court justices brought on by the retirement of 2, the elevation of another 2 to the Court of Appeal, coupled with the pre-retirement leave of another. And all this while the Supreme Court's volume of work continued to increase. Further, Algernon Allen Jr., Kendra Kelly, and Shaka Zaville, Jan Marie Darville Miller are to be appointed stipendary and circuit magistrates effective June 14th, and Simone Brown July 5th. Ms. Brown will be assigned to the Northern Region. The Ministry of National Security signing 2 contracts valued at $1.9 million. The deal sealed with Multimedia Technologies Limited for the Marcos Alert or Public Warning Alert System and the Audio-Visual Integration Communication System. The systems will work to better assist with the dissemination of information when children and others go missing and the sharing of information during hurricane season or other natural disasters. National Security Minister, the Honorable Marvin Dame, says the system will use both Marcos Alert billboards with other traditional and digital mechanisms like cell phones to share information instantaneously.
We can send notification, and I believe too that we can geofence if we need to. And so, for instance, if you have an incident, and Mr. Walker could correct me if I'm wrong, in Abaco, and you just need to warn or alert those persons on that island, you can essentially geofence and send the information almost immediately to those residents on that island. So you see the importance of the system. And this is the reason why our government felt it necessary to ensure that we make this possible as quickly as possible.
The government first signed a $2.7 million contract with Multimedia Technologies in 2019 for 4 Marcos Alert billboards. Marcos Alert was named after 11-year-old Marco Archer, whose naked body was found by police in bushes a week after he went missing. His sister, Tancia Hume, says had he lived, Marco would have been 21. The family, she says, is at least comforted another child may not have to suffer his fate. CEO of Multimedia Technologies, Rudolph Walker, thanked the ministry for awarding the contracts, adding that the Bahamas is among the first to use it in the Caribbean. He says the system for the Defense Force will be positioned at the Coral Harbor base and will allow the RBDF to establish secure connectivity to its remote bases, as well as transfer sensitive intelligence data.
That he'll go down in history, and you could always say that he did not die in vain. But it's so sad and it hurts to think about it sometimes, you know, like this right now just put you right back to that place. But again, I could smile and we can be grateful, you know, to see that something good came out of it.
Emergency notifications over cellular phones, be it 2G, 3G, 4G, or 5G, is a key step in a more efficient and modernized civil protection for the citizenry of the Bahamas. This technology has been deployed throughout North America as well as Europe.
Also signed today a nearly $1 million contract for a long-term service agreement between the Royal Bahamas Defense Force and Daman Shipyard. The government would have worked with Daman on the $232 million upgrade of the Defense Force Coral Harbor base and other bases for the Sandy Bottom project that also included the acquisition of 9 vessels. Minister Dame says while a lot was invested into the project, not enough thought was placed into consideration for transfer of knowledge, making the RBDF too reliant on Daman and other companies.
We felt it extremely important, therefore, to shift some of the emphasis and put the emphasis on people, the men and women of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, transferring the knowledge so that they will have the capabilities and the capacity to repair their own vessels, to make adjustments where necessary. And so as much as we love Diamond and other countries who come in, companies who come in and do work, we want to make certain too that our people, our men and women, are just as capable. And that's what this is all about today.
Diamond Representative Reuben Scott views the signing as a continuation of the trusted relationship between his company and the force. RBDF Commodore Dr. Raymond King says the scope of the agreement would address necessary things, the establishment of a maintenance management system.
The long-term service agreement is primarily aimed at the vessel's crew to operate, maintain ship systems in a safe and a technical manner. This is done via a bespoke maintenance management system and on-site assistance from the Diamond shipyards during the period of the contract time.
That entails corrective and breakdown maintenance as well as preventative maintenance. In addition to what the minister would have alluded to earlier, in terms of us investing in our people. We would have lost some institutional knowledge over the years, persons who were initially trained when we first got the vessels, and they would have retired. Now we have a cadre of young mechanics, and the training for them entails familiarization, maintainer and operator training on all of the systems on board the vessel.
Bahamas Power and Light's blaming a technical issue at its Blue Hills power station for repeated power outages affecting Eastern New Providence customers last night. BPL says there was an issue with its circuit feeding that portion of the island. The power provider says it was able to restore power to residents in under 2 hours, and the incident is being investigated. The outages come as Minister of Public Works and Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Desmond Bannister, at Cabinet this week, said those responsible for the island's recent outages would have to be held accountable. He also assured the incidents were not load shedding. Well, in his sermon, President of the Bahamas Baptist Missionary and Educational Convention and pastor of Mount Horeb Baptist Cathedral, Reverend Dr. Lloyd Smith, commended the competent authority for managing the COVID-19 pandemic nationwide and lifting the travel health visa requirement for certain islands. He urged Bahamians, especially Baptists, to get fully vaccinated. Reverend Lloyd also shared some concerns about restrictions in the emergency COVID-19 orders.
I am recommending that the competent authority consider removing the curfew times to 12 p.m. Mondays to Thursday and 10 p.m. Friday through Sunday.
Bishop Smith is approaching the end of his first 3-year tenure as Baptist Convention president and is hoping to be re-elected to complete his agenda. While providing a progress report on the organization, he specified how the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted Baptist education.
It should be noted as well that all of our institutions receive tremendous shortfall in students. Reference to the coronavirus COVID-19 as we speak, both Jordan, Prince William, and Charles W. Sanders had to close for a period of 2 weeks to quarantine due to COVID-19 affecting a few of our students in both locations. Today I can report to you that all is well and our schools is back to normal.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
That's why we got the
We
We are taking our faster, more superior broadband services to more and more homes across the country through our ever-expanding fiber network. Superfast internet speed for in-home entertainment, work, and study. This truly is how you elevate Bahamas.
In terms of our bundle services, and we are so excited, of course, about the bundles. We start with our highest bundle that we offer, which is the Fire Bundle to customers, and that's about $154.99 monthly for services where customers can get up to 300 megabytes per second in terms of internet speed. They get 221 channels for Flow TV services, and they have phone services. And we also have included in that our Talk 300 that allow customers to call anywhere within the Bahamas, the U.S., the U.K., and Canada at a low cost, of course. Customers are able to contact us at the virtual store. They're able to reach us Monday to Saturday. We're there for them from 8 a.m. in the morning till 9 p.m. at night. And we're also available on Sundays from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. So customers are able to reach us at the virtual store. We have about 2 different numbers that customers can reach us on, and that's either 577-SHOP or 424-SHOP, or they can email us at shop@btcbahamas.com.
BTC is bringing you fiber connectivity to thousands across the country by raising our performance, so now you can raise yours. These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corbell Pyfrom. Continue to be well and be back here next BTC Connection.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
We play just like your kids. We text just like your kids. We learn. We even cook. We take selfies. We have hobbies. And we love sports. In every way, we are just like everyone else and enjoy the same things and live our lives every day, just like you do. So if you happen to meet us, treat us just like everyone else. Because at the end of the day, we're just like you. Living life with Down syndrome is simply living. To learn more about Down syndrome, call 727-2105. This message is brought to you by the Grand Bahama Down Syndrome Society.
Do you know that adherence is more than taking medications? It calls to you to stick to the medical regimen as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Please keep your lab appointments, as these determine the effects medications are having on your body. Follow-up doctor's appointments are necessary, as this is the time when the doctor performs a physical examination and discusses any test results and any concerns or issues you may have with your course of treatment. Sticking to prescribed diet and exercise regimens can improve medication effectiveness and contributes to overall health and well-being. Make a commitment today to be adherent to your medication regimen and practice healthy living.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas AIDS Foundation with funding provided by PEPFAR, USAID Local Capacity Initiative Small Grant.
The body of the late Sir Edward Charles Carter will lie in state in the foyer of the House of Assembly on Friday between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 3 p.m. The public's invited to view the body from noon to 3 p.m. Following, there will be a flag presentation to the family. All the veteran broadcaster and former cabinet minister's contributions as a nation builder echoing through the halls of the Lyndon Pinling Center today during a memorial service. Opposition leader Philip Brave Davis describing Sir Charles Carter a stalwart counselor, as a man of all seasons who left an eloquent impact and mark on the Bahamas.
The power of Sir Charles' story is in his impact on the cultural development and the strengthening of the national identity of the Bahamas. He continued the rich legacy started with Sir Lyndon, James Catlin, Ronnie Butler, Winston Sanders, and Cleophas Adley, ahead of his return to the Bahamas from New York in the early 1960s. As a radio announcer with the Broadcasting Corporation in 1964, Charles kept this chain of islands and rocks connected through the power of his storytelling and through informing all of the Bahamas of what was developing culturally at its center, Nassau.
Former Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Perry Christie, adding that Sir Charles's life was about lifting up the forgotten among him. Carter, he says, made all aware of the relationship between cultural strength and wholesome living in the country.
Carter was an educator. He was a tour de force in so many significant ways, all of which were, or each of which was uplifting. And then after politics, as God would have it, into Island FM, his own station, where he became a businessman.
How do we measure the impact of 85 years? Well, to some, that's 31,025 days, or 44,676 minutes. And the seconds, well, those are simply immeasurable. That's how long ZNS Radio has been on the airwaves. And today, we celebrate.
They say most things only get better with time.
I'm hoping that as we go forward, it'll get better.
ZNS Radio, that is, a pillar connecting the nation for more than 85 years. It's a milestone the corporation looks back on, celebrating where we're going and how far we've come.
Nobody else that I know of covers the entire Bahamas. The only thing that covers the entire Bahamas like ZNS is the sun. And so I think that is what sets you apart. Your personnel also sets you apart.
Something General Manager Kayleesa DeVoe Isaacs can agree on. These very same halls, home to the most iconic voices on the airwaves, from legend Elva Russell Rowe to the voice of immediate response, Spence Finlinson.
Where people come through our doors, and I think that's a part of the strength of ZNS, that we are a group of people with diverse taste, talent, and we try to, at ZNS, make sure that we foster that relationship and we help people to hear especially the sound of the Bahamas and the varying voices of the Bahamas.
But that doesn't mean we should rest on our laurels, DeVoe Isaacs says, as ZNS Radio continues in an era of innovation and ingenuity. She, like Deputy Chairman Patrick Walks, are looking for the now young voices of ZNS Radio to chart the way forward and continue a legacy of excellence ZNS first brought to the airwaves.
Us radio people, we really started it, and we intend to continue doing the best we can. I am more than happy to see that even though we've come this far, the young people that we have here now have proven that they can take us to even 84 better years.
So here's to 85 years of Radio Down, with many more as your #1 broadcaster to go. Antoine Smith, ZNS Network News.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
disinfectant spray is certified by a U.S. EPA compliant lab to kill the coronavirus that causes COVID-19. Beep disinfectant spray is now available in a convenient travel-size can that travels everywhere with you. Beep for a happy, healthy home.
Everyone's excited about the $8 meal of the day. Every day, it's a different 6-inch sub, plus chips and a 20-ounce drink for just $8. That feels like fresh value. Come in any day of the week for one of your favorite 6-inch subs. Like turkey breast, meatball marinara, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, black forest ham, Italian BMT, oven roasted chicken, and tuna. Then add chips and a 20-ounce drink, and you've got the $8 meal of the day. A great meal at a great price every day of the week. Only at Subway.
The $20 combo, unlimited talk, yo, to every network you know. Across the Bahamas, I got 6 gigs of data, plus unlimited cha-cha. It just roll over too. Now let me check my people on Facebook and WhatsApp. BTC is where it's at. I rock my combo.
Your BTC 10-day combo is now only $20 and is supersized with a new low price.
BTC, do it again.
It is important that you follow these 4 R's when taking your medications. Right drug. Remember that each medication is specific for each individual, and what may work for one person may not work for the other. Right dose. Taking more or less than what is prescribed by your provider may cause you to either run out of your pills faster, it may affect your kidneys or liver, and it may even worsen your medical condition. Right time. Taking medications when told ensures that you have enough medication in your body to fight off the illness you may have. Right way. If your medication calls for you to take it whole, with food, or at night only, please follow these directions as there may be side effects. Make a commitment today to be adherent to your medication regimen and practice healthy living.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas AIDS Foundation with funding provided by PEPFAR, USAID Local Capacity Initiative Small Grant.
The government's targeting domestic and foreign direct investments as key to turning the economic tide during the COVID-19 pandemic. It's this public-private partnership formula that will restore economic health and provide opportunities for employment and growth.
$31 million in renewable and resilient energy projects. $4 million for phase 2 of the Ragged Island Multipurpose Center. $2 million to restore Ragged Island Clinic. $1.5 million to restore our Ragged Island Police Station. $200,000 to repair the Marsh Harbor International Airport. $1.7 million to repair the Treasure Key Airport. $5 million to support the North Eleuthera Airport PPP project. $5 million to support phase 2 of Exuma International Airport. $4 million to repair and install proper drainage, Bel Air area of Pinewood Gardens. $3.3 million for Inagua Comprehensive School. And $1.9 million for the East Grand Bahama Comprehensive School.
It's a shocking crime caught on tape. A video of a woman and a young child walking before being mowed down by a silver 4-door vehicle going at a fast rate. It's the latest in a series of traffic mishaps on the island of Abaco. This time, a hit and run, leaving 2 pedestrians seriously injured. Surveillance video shows the victims walking on the shoulder of the road before a car veers left, hitting the woman and child, catapulting them into the air. Assistant Superintendent of Police Stephen Roll of the Grand Bahama Press Office provides us with the details.
Upon their arrival, they received information that a female was walking with a child when she was hit by the said vehicle, who refused to come to a stop. EMS police attended at scene and transported both victims to the local clinic. The adult female was held to New Providence for further medical attention, where she is listed in a serious but stable condition. And the child and his mother is presently still at the Marsh Harbor Clinic for observation.
Well, video of the incident circulating on social media not sitting well with residents. Their tips, along with police work, leading to the arrest of the persons responsible.
The police have a male and female in custody who's assisting with that investigation on the island. But I would say that the video would have played a role in that arrest as well, along with officers' intelligence that they have received. They were able to locate the male and female and bring them into custody.
It's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. If you take a quick look at our satellite picture, you'll see some tropical moisture being advected from the southwest across the northwestern parts of the central Bahamas, and that could trigger 1 or 2 passing showers tonight and tomorrow morning. Details coming up later in the newscast. But outside of our studios, we are under a mixed bag of clouds and sunshine with a temperature of 81 degrees, a relative humidity at 69%, east-northeast winds at 12 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,019.0 millibars. That is 30.09 inches, and the pressure is steady. Your temperatures around the outlets this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 82 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Grand Toll Key, Marsh Harbor, Abaco at 81 degrees, the Berry Islands 80, 79 in Allenstown, Bimini, 79 in Harbor Island, Rock Sound, Eleuthera at 80 degrees, also Black Point, Exuma, 80, 80 in Kemp Space on Andros and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. San Salvador, Rum Key, and Georgetown, Exuma, 80s as well, 81 in Ragged Island, Clarence Town, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Maguana, and Acklands, Matthewtown, United at 83 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 82 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Pink Center. Tonight in the northwestern islands, the winds are going to be light and variable with flat seas, high tide at 9:37 tonight. In the central Bahamas, a more easterly flow at 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. For the southeast Bahamas tonight, winds also out of the east around 15 knots, and the wave heights 3 to 5 feet with just a moderate chop. Tomorrow, which is Friday, and right into Saturday, the winds will remain light and variable in the northwestern parts of our country with flat seas, high tide 9:54 in the morning, low tide at 4:04 in the afternoon. Now for the central and southeastern islands, Friday and Saturday, easterly winds at 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Every day is a great day of savings at Super Value and quality supermarkets. Rainbow evaporated milk, large can, 89 cents. IGA peanut butter, 18-ounce jar, $2.69. Super Value alkaline water, 5-gallon size, $5.19. Whole rotisserie chickens, $7.99 each. Center cut pork chops, $2.59 per pound. Super Value Winton open Sundays 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Super Value Cable Beach open Sundays 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
The man in the boat and round Bahama land. The man in the boat and the crowd is sipping sand. The Bohemian beer, food right over here. If you bow the Bohemian, raise your signs in the air. The man in the boat and round Bahama land. The man in the boat and the crowd is sipping sand. 100% Bohemian owned, even foreign guys.
Available at Jimmy's Liquor Store or your favorite restaurant or liquor stores throughout the Bahamas.
Well, what about me?
What about you? What?
Well, I thirsty too, you know.
You want to see all the water out there?
Well, why you don't give me your water, and then you go try and drink that salt water?
You crazy, eh?
I ain't the one talking to a dog, you know.
Ain't nobody could drink salt water.
Then why you won't give it to me? All dogs need fresh, cool water and sufficient shelter from the sun all year round, especially on the beach and during the hot summer months.
Summers are very hot here in the Bahamas, so please make sure all pets have ample, cool, fresh water in proper containers and sufficient shelter from the sun, even on the beach. And make sure all dog houses and kennels have proper ventilation. Let's make it Bahamian to be humane.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas Humane Society and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Self-isolation means taking simple steps to avoid close contact with other people as much as possible, as you would with the seasonal flu. If you've been in close contact with somebody confirmed with COVID-19 or suspect that you have it, self-isolate for 14 days. You can self-isolate by staying indoors and away from family for 14 days. Choose a well-ventilated room with a closed door. Household members should stay in a different room, or if that is not possible, maintain a distance of at least 3 feet. Use a sealed waste basket and double bag your waste before disposal. Limit movement in your house. Stay in your assigned space away from the rest of the household. The caretaker will bring food and anything else you need. Use separate cookery and cutlery. Use a separate bathroom and clean it regularly. Use separate towels, separate cleaning linens, and clothing. If you are in need of care by household members, limit the number of caregivers. Assign one person who is in good health and has minimum risk conditions. Most importantly, remember, do not invite others over. Should you or anyone you know feel that you've been exposed to the coronavirus, contact the COVID-19 hotline at the Ministry of Health immediately. To reach us, call 376-9350, 376-9387, 300-2619, or our 24-hour hotline at 502-7382. For more information, visit covid19.gov.bs.
This public service announcement was brought to you by the Ministry of Health and this television station.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Despite being limited to just 2 offensive rebounds in Game 2, DeAndre Ayton still finished with 22 points on 11 of 13 shooting. The big man for the Phoenix Suns will look to duplicate this performance tonight in Game 3 with the Los Angeles Lakers. The best-of-7 series is all tied up. Lakers getting the best of the Suns in Game 2, 109-102. Game 3 tips off 10 p.m. local time. The #1 pick in the 2018 draft, Ayton has found ways to put pressure on Anthony Davis as well as open up opportunities for his teammates to score. Because he's able to run the floor and defend the court on both ends, the Suns guards Chris Paul and Devin Booker are open to run a smoother offense. From the hardwood, we move to the baseball diamond. Jazz Chisholm and the Miami Marlins splitting the 4-game series 2-2 with the Philadelphia Phillies. Chisholm watched today's game from the dugout. The Marlins fell 2-3. Overall, they are 4-3 on the month with the Phillies. Up next, a 3-game series with the Boston Red Sox. The NCAA Division I track and field preliminary rounds underway in Florida and Texas. Here's a look at Bahamians competing. Freeport native Brianne Bethel hoping to turn in a fast time that will advance her to the next round of the 100 and 200 meters. The top 3 finishers in each heat, plus next 6 best times, will move on. Charisma Taylor is in the first round of the 100 meters hurdles. The sophomore at Washington State has a season best time of 13.33 seconds. She'll need to place in the top 3 or finish or post the 6th best fastest time. High jumpers like Kyle Alcine will need to clear 2.19 meters or higher to advance. The first round of competition was today. Alcine was in the second flight and will jump on Friday. The NCAA track and field preliminaries continue through Saturday.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
An art exhibition under the theme Preserving Our Coral Reefs took place here at the Diagula Art Foundation on May 20th, 2021. The exhibition commenced with the cutting of the ceremonial ribbon, which was carried out by Mrs. Patricia Minnis. Mrs. Pamela Armley, principal of Uriah McPhee Primary School, gave a statement.
2020-2021 has been one of numerous unforeseen challenges, and the journey continues with unfolding creative talents at Uriah McPhee Primary School.
Trevon Taylor, grade 3 student, gave a testimony on creating his art project.
My project is about a coral reef, which is an underwater ecosystem. It was made by using recycled materials.
The Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, Minister of Education, brought remarks.
And Mrs. Diagula and Whitehead threw open the idea of a competition as such. That of the 600 plus students in the school, they receive over 500 projects.
Mrs. Saskia Diagula thanked everyone who made the art exhibit possible.
On behalf of the Diagula Art Foundation, I wish to thank everyone who made this event here today possible.
For Ed Talk, I'm Lisa Ballard.
Want to stay in the know? Subscribe. Text 819-BMOE. That's 819-2663. Remember to like and subscribe to our social media platforms.
ZNS Shopping Network is the place for deals. Bahamas, get ready for our national launch coming June 1st, 2021. For the first time ever, any store can advertise their sale items or discounted coupons on ZNS. And you get TV and radio commercials at never-before-seen prices. So if you got stuff and you want to put it on sale, we will tell the entire Bahamas about it. So merchants, log on to ZNSShoppingNetwork.com and click the Merchant Inquiry button and get started.
It is important to take precautions to reduce your risk of getting infected with COVID-19, even when you go to the grocery store. Practice physical distancing that is 6 feet apart from others while you wait in line to enter the store. 1 person per household needs to go. Use wipes to disinfect the cart or basket handle that you select. Avoid touching your face, unnecessary items, and surfaces. Try to touch only what you are buying. So carry a grocery list to help you move along quickly. Do not forget to wear a cloth mask while you do your shopping and carry hand sanitizer with you. Practice physical distancing that is 6 feet apart from others as you shop. And at the cash register. Spend as little time as possible in the store and get enough groceries to last you for a while. Once your groceries are packed and loaded, use hand sanitizer and rub your hands together until they are completely dry. When you come home from the grocery store, take off your shoes at the door and put all of your grocery bags in one area. Disinfect your grocery bags. Rinse produce and wipe down cans and packages with soap and water before you put them away. Wash your hands thoroughly for 20 seconds when you are done. Wash your clothes and your reusable grocery bags.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Colon cancer is the third most common cancer affecting Bahamians. Your risk of developing colon cancer is increased if you have a personal history of colorectal cancer or colon polyps, a family history of colon cancer, or inflammatory bowel diseases such as ulcerative colitis. Other factors that can increase your risk of developing colon cancer are low fiber, high fat diets, a sedentary lifestyle, obesity, smoking, and alcohol. You can take steps to reduce your risk of colon cancer by making specific lifestyle changes. Eat a variety of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. These foods contain fiber, minerals, vitamins, and antioxidants, which may play a role in cancer prevention. Drink alcohol in moderation or not at all. Do not smoke. Exercise with a goal of getting in at least 30 minutes each day. If you've been inactive, start slowly and gradually build up to 30 minutes. Also, talk to your doctor before starting any exercise program. Maintain a healthy weight. If you're at a healthy weight, maintain it by combining a well-balanced diet with daily exercise. If you need to lose weight, ask your doctor about healthy ways to achieve your goal. Colon cancer screening can also help to prevent colon cancer or lead to its early detection when treatment is most effective. If you're 45 years or older, speak to your doctor about having a colonoscopy or some form of colon cancer screening that may be appropriate for you. I'm Dr. Eugene Marcus Cooper. Pay attention to your health. Get the facts and discuss colon cancer with your physician today.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather on our satellite pictures, you can see some mid-level moisture being advected towards the northeast across western Cuba and right into parts of the northwestern central Bahamas. That area of moisture could trigger 1 or 2 passing showers tonight and tomorrow morning. Our forecast for tonight calls for partly cloudy conditions with a passing shower or 2 possible. Low temperature tonight getting down to 74 degrees. And tomorrow we're looking at a mixed bag of clouds tomorrow. And there could be 1 or 2 passing showers as a result of that moisture that is being advected towards the north and east across us. High temperature tomorrow about 84 degrees. The extended weather forecast taking us through the weekend. Apart from a couple showers possible tomorrow, things should pan out quite nicely on Saturday and Sunday. Lots of sunshine during the daytime, but there is another system that's going to generate some showers for us on Monday, late on Monday afternoon, Monday evening going into Monday night. You'll see the clouds start to thicken up, showers developing, and those showers will be off and on right into the middle part of next week. Temperature-wise, during the daytime, we're going to stay in the mid-80s with our nighttime temperatures in the mid-70s. Makishla.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team here, thanks for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.